Hey, fellow nerds, Frosty here. If you're a regular viewer of our channel, then you know that every Thursday, my friend Cap and I pitch our ideas for movies and TV shows about our favorite franchises. Well, I thought it'd be fun to take one of my pitches and do some crude storyboards to give you guys an idea of what I envisioned for the movie. With that said, here is my idea for the perfect Batman movie.
It opens and we see there's like a police quarantining off a big area. And at the middle of the area, we're in Gotham. Batman and Nightwing are fighting Solomon Grundy. For those of you who don't know, Grundy is basically an undead Hulk. I think this would be a cool scene because I want to see Batman versus a superpowered enemy. Then we can kind of see he's this awesome tech ninja. And so he's throwing everything he can at Grundy, using all the gadgets in his belt. Nightwing's helping him. Grundy can't quite touch them. They're hopping around him. It's this awesome battle. Eventually, Batman's like, we can't win this. And then they lead him out to the street. And then he calls in his Batmobile, kind of charges around, hits Grundy, knocks him over, flips around, and then hits it with like everything that it has. Missiles, machine guns, everything.
Nice.
Smoke clears. Grundy's down.
Nice.
But, okay, so here's the thing. Batman realizes that he didn't have enough firepower to bring down Grundy. I mean, Grundy can fight Superman for crying out loud.
Right.
So it's bugging him. He needs to find out what happened. And we also find out that he's extremely tired. He's being Batman at night and Bruce Wayne during the day. So it's taking its toll on him. And he also kind of has a discussion with Nightwing. Nightwing's like, you need my help. And Batman's like, no, I don't. You shouldn't have come. Go back to Bloodhaven. I don't need you. So obviously there's some kind of rift between Batman and Nightwing. Then I want to have Bullock and Commissioner Gordon come in.
I love Bullock.
They're talking to Batman. Bullock's, quarantining off. Gordon comments about how Batman's looking worn. Batman maybe says something like late nights, something like that. You know how he is.
Yeah.
And then, they kind of talk about how, he doesn't think that this he could have dropped Grundy, and he's worried about that and everything. And, maybe Gordon's like, well, what are you going to do? And then he turns around, Batman's not there. I also want to include one scene where one cop is listening to, has his phone out maybe, and he's got a song playing on there, and it's something annoying. I don't know what, maybe like Baby Shark, that song?
Yeah.
Or a Call Me Maybe, or any of those stupid, really ultra catchy songs.
Right.
And and then maybe Bullock, tells the guy to shut off that phone, blah, blah, blah.
He's listening to Katy Perry.
Something, yeah. That'll come back up later. So now Batman needs to start looking for clues. So he hops into the Batmobile and he starts talking to Alfred. Alfred talks to him about being tired. Anyway, he starts looking for what's happening, Grundy's weaknesses, anything that's happening nearby, all that crap. So now we get to see Batman being a detective. Mm-hmm. And Batman is known as the world's greatest detective. He's not actually in DC. It's Detective Jim.
Chimpanzee.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that.
It's a deep cut, I know. He's searching around. He eventually finds out that people have been falling catatonic around the city. And he kind of and he researches who the first one was. And it's a woman named Judy. He goes and finds Judy, and she's in the hospital, and he researches what happened, and he figures out that her boyfriend's name is John D, and he's a scientist, but a crazy scientist, and he researches stuff about what John D has been working on and all that kind of stuff. So again, the whole idea is I want to see him being a detective for a while. So now he knows he's got to go after John D. Clearly a scientist, normal territory for Batman. He created he's something's afoot, you know what I mean? So Batman hops back in the Batmobile, starts screaming after John D. As he gets close to John D, he starts having visions of a guy with a skull and the hood and everything. And he declares himself Dr. Destiny. So, here's my reveal of my villain, Dr. Destiny. Cool. Batman's driving through the city. People are falling into this catatonic state. He's rushing towards John D or Dr. Destiny. And Destiny's pulling him under. He's trying to put him to sleep. And so Batman pulls into a Starbucks or something. And we see all the people in line. And then he goes coffee black. and then drops it down. You know?
Does he take out his Batman
Or
credit
something
card?
like that. Like, give me a triple. And like the barista's like, holy crap. You know?
The Bat card. Never leave the cave without it.
I don't want to do that.
Do it.
I do want the scared barista, like holy crap, Batman's there. So basically, yeah, that's that scene. The city, everybody's falling asleep, and Batman's fighting these illusions. So he finally manages to locate Dr. Destiny, and Batman starts fighting him. So this is like another battle scene. We see Destiny, because he's a regular dude, Batman has the upper hand physically, but Dr. Destiny's attacking his mind and using illusions and stuff. While Batman's fighting him, to deal with Dr. Destiny, to keep himself awake, because that's the whole thing. If he falls asleep, he's lost. Batman presses a button on his suit, and it starts playing that same, like, baby shark, do. And then I want this stupid scene where he's, like, his awesome battle, but to the wrong music. Like, I just think that would be really fun. And again, it would lighten it up. I mean, come on, it's comics.
You gotta have. There needs to be a moment of levity, even with Batman.
Yeah. The next scene we see Batman takes him out. Right, he's won. KOs Dr. Destiny. Batman sedates him, and he's super tired. Climbs into the Batmobile. You know, like, he's been up for 3 nights in a row. He's like, take me home. And so he falls asleep in the Batmobile. Batmobile drives him home. Wakes up the next day. Alfred's covered him in a blanket and removed, like, this cowl and stuff like that. He kind of gets out of the car. He's still in the car because, I figured Alfred couldn't carry him out of the car or anything crazy.
Right.
He goes over and he gets out of the car, starts working again because it's Batman. So he starts working on his computer looking for information, what happened after he fell asleep, yada, yada, yada. And Alfred comes over and tells him, nah, you got to go to bed, man. And he's like, no, I can't. I got work to do. And Alfred's like, yeah, but Judy died last night. You didn't save her. You've never saved anyone. Jason Todd died because of you. That's probably why Nightwing and you aren't talking to each other. You're a horrible person.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it gets darker and darker and darker. The world starts twisting. Turns out Batman fell asleep.
Nice.
So now we have this awesome battle between Batman and whereas before it was him versus a guy, now this is him versus an entire world of nightmare. So I think we could do a lot of cool stuff with that. Mm-hmm. So now we have kind of the last act, if you will, and this is very important to me, and this is the part where I struggled writing this the most. The best part about Batman is the Batman moment, the moment where Batman is like, yo, I'm like 10 steps ahead of you.
Right.
I outthought you before you even thought to come talk to me.
Right.
And that was what I wanted to get in here. So when all looks at its darkest, Batman's like losing and everything's like, he's about to lose. Destiny's like, being a supervillain. All of a sudden we hear, baby shark, do, 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 do. And it starts going over and over and over. And it's in Batman's voice. He's singing it over and over and over and over again. And it's flowing over. And Destiny's like, what are you doing? What's going on? Batman's like, I figured I couldn't defeat you. I would eventually fall asleep. So I fell asleep. You're so focused on me and dealing with this song, it's causing you to lose focus. It's keeping you out of my mind. And he's like, stop that song, and he's getting frustrated. Finally, Destiny realized, though, he's like, well, it doesn't matter. You're asleep. Eventually, I will overcome you. I'm more powerful than you here, and you'll go into cardiac arrest. And again, this is where Batman smiles, and he says, yeah, but you're so focused on me, you're not thinking about anyone else that might be tracking you. Cut back to the real world. We have Nightwing, and he goes, nighty-night, and he shocks him with his two Eskrima.
Love it. Oh,
and
love it.
That KOs Destiny. So, yeah, that was important to me. I wanted to have that Batman moment. Needed to happen. Those are the best moments. Because Batman doesn't win by being the strongest, most powerful, best gear. He wins because he's already defeated you. He's a game. It's like he's playing chess.
Right. Well, you're setting up the pieces. He's already won.
Yeah, exactly. It's what it makes him great. It's what makes him who he is. It's why we read Batman.
Right.
So the epilogue, if you will, is we see Dr. Destiny carted off to Arkham, is all like fried from Nightwing's shocking him while he was doing the psychic stuff, and he's just kind of humming like and he's lost his mind. Batman and Nightwing are on patrol together, and they're kind of talking about what happened. So we find out that Dr. Destiny was using his powers. First he attacked Judy, his girlfriend, because she left him or something like that, and then it was the power kind of was going out, and he was trying to grab the whole city. And Grundy's mind was so simple, that was what caused him to go out early. And Batman was just smart enough to pick up on it.
I dig it. I love it, man. I like your choice of Grundy, because that's not a character you really see used that often.
Yeah. Well, also, I mean, how cool a tech ninja fighting an undead Hulk. I mean, what's cooler than that?
That is pretty cool.
Well, that was my pitch for the perfect Batman movie. Some of you may have noticed I adapted an old Justice League episode. I think I made it my own, though. Let me know what you guys thought. If you guys like this format, I can maybe do some more in future. I want to thank my friend Jennifer for providing the photo for the thumbnail. I realize it's a little clickbaity, so maybe we can throw in a scene where she plays Batman's love interest. She could be all, "I'm Vicky Vale." And Batman shows up and he's like, "I'm Batman." Anyway, check out our stream every Thursday at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. And all of our old episodes are up right here on YouTube. Later.